Okay, now we want to talk about what happens at a hotspot where you basically have the middle of a plate and then you got this blob of magma that's kind of stuck under the ground, and occasionally it sends up material up to the surface. What do you end up with? Well, we've already discussed this when we talked about plate tectonics. An example of this was the Hawaiian Islands could form this way. So you're going to have this ultra-mafic material coming from the asthenosphere. So this is going to be that periodotite, and it's going to be mixing with the pre-existing mafic rocks that make up the ocean floor, so that what comes out is going to be mafic rock, such as basalt and gabbro. Okay, then you could also have a hot spot that could be underneath a continent, and we already talked about this. So an example of this would be like Yellowstone National Park, where you've got a continent that's composed of granite, and then underneath it you're going to have this ultramafic material that is going to come to the surface. So what can it do? Well, it can do a lot of different things. So it could change the felsic rock into intermediate rock, and then it also could, again, come directly to the surface to make rhyolite lava flows and granite at depth. So that leaves us with our third kind of collision. We forgot to mention what happens when a continent collides with a continent. Well, not too much, because what happens is that if you got a continent here, and it's going to want to go up because it's not very dense, and it's going to crumple up against this other plate, and it also is going to want to go up because it's not so dense. Well, as soon as these two continents, they come together, it kind of seals off the supply of magma underneath. So that generally when you have a continent colliding with a continent, you don't have that much volcanic action. Now you might have some emplacements, so you could have like some dikes and sills and things like that being emplaced into these mountains, but no real volcanic eruptions as a result of it. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about intrusive igneous features.